Well, I want to show you how to quarter a chicken using stone tools or pieces of glass or any sharp object other than a knife, just in case you don't happen to have one and you got some game and you need to address it. Right now, what you're looking at here are a couple of flakes, stone flakes. I've got two pieces of what they call chert. And very sharp, very sharp. This one is a piece of chert. This is a piece of chert. It usually is found around limestone. It would be our native flint, as my understanding is that true flint is only found in the UK. This piece here is a piece of keokuk, which is a siliceous stone. Got a lot of it's a glass-like texture, and this is really glass-like texture. This is called obsidian, and as you can probably see, this is extremely razor thin and razor sharp. This stuff here, under the electron microscope, magnified 10,000 times or whatever, is much more of a cleaner edge than any steel razor. In my understanding is that people in the medical field use pieces of obsidian to actually do real fine, like I'm sure I think neurosurgery, just because it's so clean across the edge of it. And this stuff is, yeah, this will cut you. Okay. So what we're going to do is, please excuse the gore. But we're going to we're going to just basically quarter a chicken using a stone tool here. So put these aside here because I actually prefer to use my pieces of chert here. You can kind of hear that. I have a piece of chicken here. Just got out from the store. Just to show you how sharp it is, I can take one of these stone pieces here and go ahead and cut the plastic off. Real easy, just like a razor blade. Nothing to play with. Nothing to play with at all. So I'm right by the sink here, so I'm going to go ahead and just kind of make sure all the liquid goes into the sink. I've bleached down everything. When you're cleaning, dressing poultry, it's best to use bleach. Bleach and water, just a little bit of bleach, a little bit of water. Spritz everything down and clean it off. I've already done that and I'll do it afterwards. Anyways, the way this comes is usually you have the neck and some other innards like the heart or the gizzard. Heart, gizzard, liver. Just take those out and we'll put them there. Alright. Okay, it's a nice, pretty big bird. If you like the fat of it, you can cut this off. You can dress it however you want. We're not going to completely debone this thing. I'm just going to quarter it. Alright? So, first thing, the way I was taught and what the things I like to do is I start with the legs here, okay? I'm going to cut down here and take my stone tool, which is a piece of chert, and go ahead and sever that. And I just cut down. I'm going to watch my fingers because this is sharp. It will cut you. And I'm just cutting the skin, cutting through the skin, and I'm getting to what is the femur that is set into the pelvic hip. Okay, and really when you get there, you can just kind of pop that out. I don't have to cut through anything other than the meat around it. Real easy. Okay. Okay, you see how this is working out? Again, you do the same thing with the blade for those people that have never quartered a chicken before. You can kind of do this. And again, I'm sure I'm not a chef or anything like that. I'm sure there are some chefs out there that are probably going to be cringing at the way I'm doing this. Again, it's very primitive, so bear with me. Go ahead and take the other leg. And I'm going to cut this down. And cut through. Okay. See how it's open here? Go ahead, it starts to get a little slick. I just pop or dislocate the femur from the hip socket, and I can go ahead and run my blade, my stone blade, away. Okay, so this, I usually just remove the legs first. And again, this is the way I was taught to do it. So if there's another way, there's another way, obviously. There's lots of ways to do it. Do many things. There's 7 billion people on the planet. I'm sure there's 7 billion ways to do any one thing. And again, it's of course it's not as clean as a knife. It's not as easy as a knife, but let's just say we don't have one. Okay, you can pretty much field dress a whole deer, goat, antelope, moose with stone tools. I've done it. It worked just fine. Actually, sometimes even better than a blade. But you know, it's important to know the anatomy of the animal. That way you know where to cut and where not to cut. All right, so there's the two, the drummies and the thighs. We're going to deal with those in a second. Okay. So next, I usually do the wings. Okay. Now, to get a bigger drummy, okay, this part, the thigh part, is considered, not the thigh, but excuse me, the upper calf part of the chicken is considered the drumstick. Okay. So it's dark meat. I love dark meat. That's my part of it, the part that I enjoy. For the drummy part, which is basically the humerus here into the shoulder blade that is attached to the breast here, these are called the drummies. All right. Now, to get a bigger drummy, the idea is to cut just a little bit deeper into the breast. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my tool here, and I can kind of start to carve into just a little bit. I don't want to take all the breast out. You could do that if you choose to do so. But now I can take this and I can, again, dislocate the joint from the socket. I'm not cutting through any bone. I'm not cutting through any ligaments. I've already just dislocated everything, as you can see. And I'm just going to go ahead and cut through. And what you end up with, I'm trying to be very careful because this piece is sharp. Trust me, I know I've been cut many times with stone. Many times. So what you end up with is just kind of a bigger drummy piece here. Okay? In a lot of ways, if you're going to fry these up, you fold that over, you take the finger here, or the tip, and you just fold it behind itself, like so. For a lot of you chefs and cooks out there, y'all know this trick. Okay, we just set that aside. We do the other side. Okay, again, I'm just using my stone tool, which is starting to get dull a little bit, but it's still going to work pretty good, and I have to be careful because I'm not trying to cut myself. Work that in, and again, I just go ahead and just pop the joint free. I could saw it if it doesn't want to give me anything. Okay, and then go ahead and there we go, and it's free. Okay, not as big a piece, but you know, you get the idea. Again, I'm kind of working awkward here with the camera on and everything, and again, just cutting the skin. And like I said, you have your piece, you have your drummy, you have your forearm, you got your major finger and the thumb there, which would hold the feathers. And then go ahead and fold this backwards if you're going to fry them up or barbecue them up, and that's how they fold, like so. Or you could even cut them down even furthermore if you're trying to do, you know, a Super Bowl party or something with the drums, the buffalo wings and that. All right, so now we've basically got the breast and the back. Okay. Now, we could work the breast all the way down, but for now, I'm just wanting to show you the basic quarter. Okay, so what we have is we have the rib cage here, we've got the pelvic girdle here, we've got the back, and we've got the rib cage on the other side. Really, all we need to do is just to separate these two. Is we take our tool And we go ahead and just, again, being careful, just sever them apart. Okay, and find the ribs. There's a separation in the ribs here. They come together and they're fused. There we go. Watching my fingers. Exactly, there we go. And it cups right clean. Just always. Again, if you're squeamish, I'm sure the sounds aren't very pretty. Trust me, I understand it. You know, and whenever I've harvested an animal, it's not something I enjoy doing. It's you know, it reminds oneself of one's own mortality. So please bear with me. This is just for education. So again, from the other side here, you can see. Now you can see once I've opened it up, the cavity here. There's gristle here where the ribs have fused together on chicken and most poultry like this. That's what I'm cutting. I could probably even just take it on this side, and I can just run the blade straight through. And I got my cutting board here, which is giving me that nicely. And then now we have this opening here. Now, generally, this is where the wishbone and everything is at. I'm going to separate the two. And again, I'm just going to I can cut through that. Or I can pull it apart, which is what I've pretty much always just done. Boom, there you go. Okay? So, what you have here, again, you have the two pieces. You got your breast part, you've got your upper back or rib cage, and you've got your pelvic girdle. And again, the breast part can be cut even further down, and we could fillet this all out, and I could totally separate this. I think you all get the idea as far as you want to go. There is a piece of cartilage in the middle. You basically splay it out. Again, you chefs out there really know how to do this, so I'm probably just talking out the side of my neck for the most part. But at the most part, for the most part, we've got this here, and you just put this on the grill or fry it up or however, or roast it or however you want to cook the breast here. We're going to go to the back. Again, stone tool. I'm cutting behind the ribs. Sever that here. And again, what I do with the chicken, I just go ahead and just separate the back from the pelvic girdle. Bury that in there a little bit. There we go. And then I can just pop that free. Kind of sets in there. Okay? Nice and easy. Okay? And then I go ahead and cut it free. Not a lot of meat on the back, but, you know, it's better to use the whole animal as much as you can. Alright, set these aside. Okay. Alright, lastly, we come back, again, excuse the gore, we come back to the thighs and the drumsticks. Okay? Again, these are generally pretty easy to deal with. I go ahead and bend it, and I'm holding on to the bone here. I bend it, and I go ahead and I just kind of sever in the middle of the bend. I find the cartilage. There it is. Okay, got to be careful. All right, and just cut through that. Okay, I'm already through. Okay, once you're through the bone, then you can kind of go through the backside, or you can go through the backside to start. There's a lot of skin in the way. It's easier if there's not skin, because even if you're using a knife, it likes to slide. So you just have to be careful when you're cutting it through. That's why a safe knife, safe blade is a sharp blade. Okay, cut that through. So again, a little bit of skin on this, which is fine. I like the skin. That's just my personal preference. But there's the drumstick. Here is the thigh. Do it with the other one. Again, I find the middle. Be very careful. Okay, I found the cartilage there. the middle part, and I just go ahead and I can use my stone tool to just cut right through that. And again, it's the same stone tool, working just fine, just as good as a blade, a knife. A little awkward, but just as good, almost. And get some leverage here. Let's see the skin. I love the skin, but the skin can be kind of troublesome because it's slippery. Something to be aware of. So if you don't want the skin, take the skin off. And it's a little bit easier. You can really see the anatomy of the animal. I'm trying to leave the skin on. So there you have it. For the most part, that's pretty much, aside from the breast part of the chicken, which could be cut down much more. This is, how I learned to quarter a chicken using a knife, and this time I just wanted to show you how to do it with a stone tool.